What is up, everyone? We are live. We were going to do a post game. It was looking a little grim, but we just thought as soon as we were watching the game and we saw that Alvarez hit a home run, we're like, we have to go live. We have to go live. So
Yeah, it
I
was
am joined
crazy.
none other by my boy Nelson from Amish Country, Mets fan. Make sure you go
What up?
check him out on YouTube. Go ahead and do that and follow him on Twitter as well. Oh my goodness. We're going to save this to be a post game live. I went to go to use the restroom real quick and I just
I was like,
hear
"Where are you, Chris? Where are you?"
on my from my computer I just hear Nelson like, "Where are you, Chris? Where are you?" And I'm like, "What?" Like I literally just rushed back into the room like, "What just happened?" Um Crazy developments in the Mets game. Nelson, before we get into that, Nelson, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being on.
I'm good. I'm a lot better now. I had just
Yeah.
said I had joked. I'm like, "What if Vientos hits a 3-run bomb?" And he didn't do it, but Alvarez did it.
Play the kids, play the kids. But this is being streamed out to YouTube, to both of our YouTubes, to your Facebook, to my Twitter. So if you're joining in from Twitter, I just want to caveat it. We can't see any sort of Twitter comments, unfortunately, with the platform that we're using. So if you're commenting on the live on Twitter, we can't see it.
And if you're a
Make sure you
troll,
just go
then
over
that works.
to YouTube. Yeah, just go over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, put your comments in. We're going to be displaying the comments on the screen as well, all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Instead of a post game, instead of the same post game spiel that we've been doing the last couple of weeks with Mets struggling, we now have a ball game going into extras against the Rays in game 2. So this should be interesting. We're going to
Yo,
finish out this game
we can't
doing it
lose.
live. Oh man, I am so happy for Alvarez though. This is what happens when you play the kids. This is what happens. This is what happens.
I
I
mean,
love
that
it.
was a
I
bomb
absolutely love it.
too, man. He knew it.
That was off the scoreboard facing on the second deck.
Wow. Look,
That was abs. I'm so mad that I missed it. I'm so mad that I missed it.
I
I'm
thought you
so
saw
mad
it
that I
and you
missed
were
it.
just off camera, like for whatever reason. I didn't realize you actually missed it.
I missed it. I missed it. Oh my goodness. Yo, we gotta get some guys in here. We gotta get some people in here. Like let's get it going.
Yeah, might be. Sometimes people don't want to go watch stuff like this if the game's still going on, but it's all good.
No, I feel that. I feel that. But I'm gonna provide some color commentary and we're just gonna roll with it, man. But
We got
we got my boy
Robertson.
Josh in the house. Obviously, he has to point out that the Rockies have a better record than the Mets right now. Our Colorado correspondent here is in the chat. So
That's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
sad, to be honest.
we'll give him only a little bit of a spotlight, but yeah, it's 5-5. If you're tuning in late, Francisco Alvarez in the bottom of the ninth inning hit a game-tying 3-run home run to basically the second deck. This game was looking like it was going to be another loss. We were down 5-2 going into the inning. Two runners got on base, and Alvarez just worked his magic in that last at bat. So obviously, we're watching this game live right now, so it's going to be not just a post game. It's going to be a live plus a post game. We'll give our thoughts on the performance after the game, but we got the top of the 10th starting here. Luke Raley's up at bat. David Robertson is looking to shut the Rays out in the top of the 10th to give us a chance to win this ball game. So we'll see what happens here. David Robertson has been very sharp. There goes the runner. Alvarez from his knees.
Yeah, I'm
He's still.
I'm a pretty good like 30 seconds ahead of you at least.
Yeah. You're ahead of me. So if you want to provide the color commentary, I'm all for it. But
I don't want to
I
ruin it for
mean,
you, so I'll try to like keep my mouth shut.
yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, everyone Nelson's ahead of me, so he's not going to try to ruin it for me. But that was a good throw from Alvarez's
I could
knees
try to
right there.
pause it and sync it up, but I don't know how well that'll work.
I mean, at this point, it's all right. Yeah, so you're 30 seconds ahead. Let me try to see if I can get my stream because obviously I'm streaming. I'm not in the New York area. See if I can get it a little quicker. I don't think I can, but
Yeah, I got
Where you're
the
at right now.
TV package, so I'm able to watch it. So it's probably just a little bit quicker.
Is it, the 1-2 pitch just got thrown up to me, so on my screen, so
Yeah, I'm at 2-2.
all right. You can provide your emotions and everything. I'm not gonna uh go ahead and stop you there. Feel free to, but I just saw the foul ball right now. So you're definitely a little bit ahead of me, but I'm so happy that we ended up making this right
Oh,
here. Um, we got Mike Rodriguez in the chat. Amish country question mark. Are
what
you
up, Mike?
Lancaster, PA?
No, I'm not in Lancaster. I'm actually in Northwest PA, but there are a ton of Amish around here, so I still consider it Amish country. It's a
Yeah,
common question to get.
yeah, which is a really cool thing about your branding here. I had a question when I first met you as well about where you're actually from and where you reside. Obviously, I've been to Lancaster. I've been to the Hershey Park area, that area of Pennsylvania, in which everyone thinks is predominantly the Amish country of the United States. But you are in more of the, I guess, are you around Pittsburgh, close to Pittsburgh, or not
An hour and a
particularly?
half, north, like
Okay,
almost due north. Like this area, there's a lot of Amish, and then there's a spot in Ohio that's like an hour from me that's a ton of Amish too. So Amish are
got
pretty
it.
prominent in around this area.
Cool. Well, there you go. There we got the official answer. Shout out Mike, Mike Rodriguez
Thanks for
tuning in.
watching, Mike.
Yep, yep. Shout out you for tuning in. Like I said, if you're late to this game, late to this live, we were gonna just do the post game live. We did not think that the Mets were gonna be back in this ball game, but we are now tied. It's 5-5. We're going to provide some color commentary here. Nelson is ahead of me
Ooh.
by about 30 seconds, so I'm a little bit behind on my stream.
You see
I
the out
obviously
yet?
buy the ML. What was that?
Did you see the out yet or no?
Yeah, yeah. I just saw
Okay.
the what was it, the fly out, the pop out, or whatever it
Yeah.
was. I just saw that, so that's on my screen. Um, Mike Rodriguez says, "I'm not a Mets fan, but for the health of Frank the Tank, I hope they win." LOL. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for the sake of all of our health, I hope that we win as well, Mike. So definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you tuning in.
Well, who
Make
are
sure you
you a
guys, like I
fan
said,
of? If you
subscribe to the channel and subscribe to both of our channels, and make sure you hit that thumbs up for the video. Definitely appreciate the support. Definitely. But
Ooh, Robert's just
yeah.
throwing some nasty pitches.
Yeah, Robertson's been just a phenomenal, consistent guy. Like I said about the consistency of this team, David Robertson, Ottavino was one guy that I said. Obviously, he put up a stinker in the eighth inning, ninth inning,
He's good for those
ninth inning,
once
I
every
should say.
couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad. Once Ottavino
Come on.
gets base runners on, it's just like no holding them. Honestly, it's pretty bad. But hey, we're back in this ball game. That's all that matters. Alvarez, this is the type of experience that the kids need, man. This is the type of experience that the kids need. Going into the season, that's what Francisco Alvarez needs. I just saw the base hit. Rays take the 6-5 lead. Unfortunately,
It's all right.
um, it's all
Just
right.
can't
We
give
get
up
the
another
runner on
one.
second base as well, so it's quite all right. It's quite all right. No worries there. Let's turn this double play. Get out of it. Robertson's been solid all season. Um, Mike also comments, "I'm a Yankees fan, born and raised in
Raised in
Brooklyn, now
Brooklyn.
reside in Lancaster."
Nice. I'm
So
born and raised in Brooklyn too, bro.
there you go. You got the similarities. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Mike and Nelson now reside in different parts of Pennsylvania. So that's awesome to hear. I saw the live that you did, Nelson, the little rebrand. You want to start interacting more with fans of different cities, of fans of cities that the Mets are going to be playing in. And I
Yeah.
saw that live that you did earlier. Like I said, make sure go ahead and shout your YouTube out real quick. I tossed up your Twitter here. I'm going to toss it up one more time. Make sure everyone follows Amish Country Met on Twitter, and then shout out your YouTube, whatever you're doing on there. Go ahead.
Yeah, my YouTube is just Amish Country Mets fan. I think it's on my screen. It's under like my little headline underneath my name. So Yeah, follow me on there. I do all kinds of different content, daily videos, and sometimes I even do like funny skits and stuff. So, and then I
Yeah.
live like on a farm, so I'll post like, even if you're not into the Mets so much, I'll post like animals and nature and shit like that.
There you go. There's the ground ball. I just saw Vientos across the diamond. Strong throw
Yeah,
from
that's a good
Vientos
throw.
across the diamond.
The
Strong
Mets
throw.
always shit on these prospects and how their defense, and then they end up not being nearly as bad as they say.
Right. Right. And they're saying the same thing for Mauricio down there as well, because
Yeah,
obviously he'd be a candidate to play second base. That was a strong throw across the diamond. So I know a lot of people were surprised that Vientos got the start at third base today. But that was a strong
uh,
throw. Great
catch that.
play. Great
Come
play.
on, Marte.
I can only imagine what that's going to be.
I mean, Marte's just not a good outfielder anymore, man. This sucks.
Marte's definitely looked a little off.
Like, you'll see the play. Like he, I
Oh,
feel like he did. He hesitated.
yeah. So Marte lets the ball drop ahead of him in the
Like, can you
outfield.
dive at least? Jesus Christ.
I think that he should have caught that ball. The Rays scratch the seventh run across the board. That's a huge insurance run for them. Let's see if the
That,
Mets have a little bit more magic in them. I'm not sure if they do. I think we've seen enough magic from the Mets tonight in terms of what they've been able to provide for the last few weeks. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the bottom of this inning. But I am so stoked for Francisco Alvarez. That is a career signature moment type hit for Francisco Alvarez, and it's just the type of experience that these kids that come up to the major leagues. Vientos had a game tying 2-run home run earlier in the game, and now Francisco Alvarez gets the game tying 3-run home run in the ninth with 2 outs left. These are the types of signature moments that when we talk about these prospects coming up from AAA, this is the type of experience we need these kids to get, right?
yeah, totally. It sucks if we can't get the win because I feel like as a team this would have been like something good to build off of. But hopefully, I mean, I don't know if they have like another comeback in them, but hopefully at least they can build off of the fact that the two kids provided a pretty big spark for us. So
No, you see, I mean, even for me right now, with the way that things have been going, I'm gonna take the positives where I can. I'm gonna
yeah,
take the positive of these kids getting hits in key moments, and I'm just gonna run with it because this is what I want to see. This is what the Braves did last year with their guys. They brought them up early. They got the experience going down into the stretch of the regular season, and they performed. And I think that if the Mets turn this ship around, that these are the games right here that are going to benefit the Mets moving forward into the season, especially down late, late in the season. So I love what I saw. Francisco Alvarez is playing great defense. We saw Vientos' throw last inning. So this is valuable experience. Valuable experience.
yeah. I just hope Buck doesn't keep rolling out ridiculous lineups like he did today.
Agreed. That was definitely a question mark for me as well. That was
Like what? I mean, please don't tell me that Beatty and Vientos are going to platoon at third base because that better not be the case.
No, I don't think they are. I don't think that's going to be the thing moving forward. I saw Buck's comment on the whole situation with Tommy Pham saying he's in there because he's had one of the worst lucks and one of the worst bad lucks on the Mets team right now. Has the second highest hard ball hit rate aside from Alonso this season so far. I don't buy any of that. Let's be real here. I don't buy any of that. So we're not going to go down that road. I need Beatty, I need Alvarez, and I need Vientos in the same lineup, and we're going to be
Exactly.
good. I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
let's see
it's
what the Mets can
simple.
do here.
DH Vientos and play Beatty at third. That's it. That's plain and simple.
Agreed.
That's all you got to do.
Agreed. And when Vientos gets the day off from DH, Put in Escobar. I'm more than fine with Escobar being in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you're just tuning in here, obviously we're streaming to multiple platforms. Nelson's stream is a little bit ahead of mine. I'm still on the 2-1 count to McNeil right now to lead off the inning. We'll see what happens. We're both watching this game. He just swung and missed. It's now 2-2. Fairbanks is on the mound for the Rays. Let's see if the Mets have some magic left in them. I really want them to take this game, but like I said, there's already positives. Look at Francisco Alvarez in that dugout.
Yeah,
Alvarez
he's
and
pumped.
Vientos together. They're providing the spark and the energy here. They know that. So base it, McNeil. Let's go. Let's go. Are you gonna send him? That's
No,
gotta be a run.
no, no,
That's
no,
not a run?
no. First and third.
That's not a run? That should be a run.
I mean, I
Oh
guess it doesn't
goodness.
really matter. I mean,
It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I'd like to see that run pushed
dude, give me a
across.
Lindor walk off. A Lindor walk off would be amazing.
If Lindor hits a walk off right here, yeah, you have to contain your excitement a little bit. You have
I'll
to
try.
contain your excitement a little bit. No, actually, screw that. If we walk it off, if Lindor walks it off or anybody walks it off, just do it. Just do it. I'm gonna see it. Just go ahead and do it because I'm not gonna wait around and try to contain your excitement. Just go ahead and do it, Nelson. I
Well,
won't be
it's
offended
got to happen
whatsoever.
first. So let's see.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna jump to any conclusions, but what a game! What a game! This was just gonna originally be a post game. Now we're doing a live. This is awesome. This is awesome. I like this concept. So Lindor's 0-2 on my screen right now. Let's see. We need something productive out of him. We
Um,
need some.
Senga, bro, he was lights out tonight, bro.
I loved what Senga provided. 12 strikeouts
I
over
mean,
six
if he
innings.
could
That
do
was just
that
a gem.
consistently, we'll be in good shape.
So I know that Senga, like, he's still trying to find his command, but year two Senga, I think I mentioned it to you. Year two Senga is going to be absolutely phenomenal once he finds
I
that command.
totally agree. Yep.
It's going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I
He
think
has
year
all the
two
stuff to
Senga's
be a
gonna
great
make
pitcher.
leaps and bounds.
We got a score update. Apologies. Score is 7-5. Tampa Bay is up in the bottom of the 10th inning. Mets have runners on first and third with no outs. Lindor is up. Appreciate you, Plumstead,
The
for
GM
tuning in. Um,
looks like
like
it's
I
probably
said,
from my Facebook. Thanks for watching.
yeah. Thanks for watching. We definitely appreciate it. Lindor just struck out on my screen. I know Nelson's a little bit ahead of me. Like I said, if you're new,
Yeah,
Nelson's
he
ahead of
struck
me.
out.
Lindor just struck out. Pete Alonso is going to be coming up here
Oh,
in a clutch situation. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know if the Mets have any magic in them. Like I said, the magic happened in the ninth inning when Francisco Alvarez hit that home run. It actually, yeah, it is Pete. All right,
yeah,
Pete. You see how he's closed off right now? You see how he's closed off in his stance right now?
yeah. It's definitely different.
It's different. He's struggling and he's changing his stance up. His Wait, did he hit the home run? Home run?
Yes,
Home run! Walk
yes,
off. Let's go! Let's
yes.
go! Let's
Let's
go!
go.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's go, Pete!
Fuck.
Walk it off, baby! Walk it off! The New York Mets win the game! Boom! He tossed up the muscle sign! Boom! 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 Boom!
Oh shit.
Boom! What a magical game from the New York Mets. Pete Alonso walks it off with a 3-run bomb in the bottom of the 10th. The New York Mets win the ball game
Oh my
8 to
god.
7 on a Pete Alonso walk-off. Holy cow.
Holy
What
shit,
a
bro.
game, Nelson. What a game. What a game.
I can't
What a
believe it.
game. Thank you all if you're tuning in. I hope you guys are tuning in. This is awesome. Thank you all for tuning in. We just witnessed
Oh
probably the most
shit.
memorable Mets win of the season so far. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. We just beat the best team in baseball. Little steps,
Oh,
baby steps. Obviously, I know this is one win in the grand scheme of things, but the way this game played out, Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
I hope people are tuning in here because that was this might be like one of the best lives that we have probably all of this season. I mean, wow. Look at Vientos and Beatty shaking hands in the dugout. Pete Alonso, middle up at his letters. Look at him. Literally just knew it was gone. Boom. Boom. Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
I
My
can't believe
goodness.
I can't believe it, bro. I'm speechless.
I'm actually speechless. I'm actually speechless. I'm actually speechless. Wow.
Yo, that was a bomb too. Did you see how far that shit went?
That went a long, long ways.
Oh wow.
Mets win 8-7. Mets win 8
Yeah,
to
but the
7.
Mets won, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, if you can't tell, the Mets won.
I'm sorry, I
Steve Gales
cannot
is doing
contain
his
it, bro.
post
That was
game. That was awesome. Steve Gales doing his post game right now with Alonso. That's got to feel phenomenal for Pete Alonso right now.
bro.
I don't have my audio on to see what he's saying, but what
Yeah, I'm
a
not
game.
not really listening. But this could be a season changing win, man. It could be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This could be the turning point. I'm not gonna just go ahead and say that
No,
just
no, no,
willy
no.
nilly,
But
but
it,
it
it
definitely
definitely
could
has a
be.
chance. Yeah.
It has a chance to. It has a chance to 100%.
Yeah, that this is the kind of win that can get that monkey off your back, especially with the kids doing what they did. And then, I mean, let's face it, Alonso played like shit all game up to that home run. Like
Yeah, he didn't have a good game whatsoever.
0 for
He
4,
didn't
get a
have a good
double
game
play. It
whatsoever.
was bad. Oh, he dropped the F bomb on TV live. They didn't bleep it.
Really?
Yeah, he said, "Let's fucking
He
go
did?
Mets." Yeah, they didn't bleep it. Whoops, they're getting a fine from the
If
FCC
y'all
or
are
whatever.
tuning into this, I can't see how many people are in here across all of our different platforms. Make sure you drop the
And I
comment. We're
hope
going to
somebody's
display it on
watching.
here. What was that?
I said, I hope somebody's watching. This is
I
crazy.
hope people are watching because this is awesome. I mean, drop the comments in wherever you're commenting from. Drop the comments in. We're going to display it here, right on the screen. And like I said, I mean, we were literally in this stream intending to do a post game stream before we went live. We were watching the game, and we're just like, all right, these guys are probably not going to win this game. And I stepped out for a little bit, and then all I hear from my computer is Nelson just saying, "Where are you, Chris? Where are you?" And wow, what a time to be a Mets fan on the night of May 17th. The thing is, and we can start to get into our little bit of the post game spiel here.
Yeah, yeah,
I know we're still trying to collect ourselves, from this win, and I still have my adrenaline rushing right now.
yeah. I'm ready to like
Um,
run through a wall, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. I am as well. This is a phenomenal win. Like you just mentioned, a chance to be, oh yeah, Josh. Oh yeah. Walonzo.
That's right,
Walonzo.
Josh.
W. Alonzo. Yes, sir. Clutch gene. Absolute clutch gene. Absolutely phenomenal. So so as a former baseball player myself, do you Nelson, have you played baseball before? Did you play the game?
Yeah, I played in school.
So so picture yourself, you're in a game, you're 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, whatever it is, and you're stepping up to the plate with man on first and third, one out in a clutch situation, knowing that you literally cannot hit into a double play here.
Yeah,
Just the emotions that you
that's a lot
have
of
in that
pressure.
kind of at bat, the emotions that you have, whatever you're thinking, not bringing those previous at bats into your current at bat is such a hard task mentally for any player. And Pete Alonso just said, screw it. I'm ending this game right now. I'm ending it. It's over.
Yeah. And credit to the team as a whole because they tied the game at first. What I believe 2-2, and then they blew it. It was 4-2. They tied it again, and then they blew it again, and then they walk it off like that.
Yeah.
That takes some guts, man. They could have
That
easily
that
given
is
up.
a that is a gutsy, gutsy, gutsy win. This
Against the
I
best
don't
team in
even
baseball
know. Against the best team in baseball, without a doubt. This might be the best Mets win in my opinion.
of the
I,
season for
they've
sure.
had of this season for sure. I mean, I'm trying to dig back into the later part of last season. If I've seen any sort of wins like of this caliber in the late part of last season, but
Yeah, the latest one I
100%.
could think was I think in August against Philly, they and against the Braves they had some pretty good big wins, but um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
it's
but
been a
this is
while.
huge. It's been a while. We haven't seen though any sort of wins that can be attributed to the young players yet,
No, not really.
outside of tonight. Vientos, just a game recap real quick while we're here before we give our post-game thoughts of this game. Because there are negatives to talk about in this game, and we're not going to delve into those negatives just because this is a great Mets win, and we take any W's we can tonight. We took that W, and we're going to take this W into the post game with our mood. I feel like that's how we should conduct it. There are some negatives still to talk about, obviously, with any baseball game, but Vientos ties the game at 2-2 with a home run after he grounded out twice. Obviously, he got recalled today, got the start in his first day in the majors in 2023. A terrible inning by Adam Ottavino there in the ninth inning. Bottom of the ninth inning, the Mets get two runners on. They're down to their final out of the game. Francisco Alvarez is coming up, hits an absolute bomb off of the scoreboard facing second deck, and we go into extras. In extras, David Robertson allows two runs to the Rays in the top of the 10th. The Mets obviously get the free runner on at second base. We get first and third actually with the McNeil hit, and then Francisco Lindor strikes out, and then Pete Alonso comes up, ends the ball game. I'm looking at this replay right now. Absolute. That landed in the second deck.
Yeah,
That landed in the
that
second
was a
deck for Pete
bomb.
Alonso. That was a bomb. I'll give my. I've been feel like I've been talking a lot here. Nelson, just take it away. Whatever you want to say, it's your floor right now.
I don't even know what to say, man. It was well. First off, Senga. Props to Senga. I mean, we could easily forget what he did because of everything that happened afterwards. But he went out there, pitched what one? He gave up one or two runs. I can't remember.
He gave
I
up
think it
two
was
runs.
one. Well, two. Okay.
He
Either
gave.
way,
Oh wait, actually, no. He gave up one run, right?
I feel like it was one. I think it was 6 innings, one run.
6 innings, one run. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 12
Wait, who did
strikeouts. Like,
Jose Siri hit that home run off of? Because that was a
um,
solo shot.
Brigham.
Yeah,
It was
okay, it
off
was
Brigham.
Brigham. So yeah, he
Yeah,
gave up one run in
yeah,
6 innings pitched with 12
yeah.
strikeouts.
Okay, yeah, he was phenomenal. Um,
Phenomenal.
can't knock anything he did for sure. Brigham looked really good until he gave up that solo bomb. Um, and then yeah, we Vientos hits that game tying home run, and we thought. I mean, at least I thought I'm like, okay, we can build off this. We're in it, and then we give up two runs right back, and it's like, oh Jesus. And but then again, we clawed back into it. So I mean, Alvarez ties it. I just I don't know what to say, man. It's just great to see the kids, especially for Vientos, Alvarez. Those were huge. That like Vientos got to have so much confidence going into like the next few games. Like that's stuff you can build off of, and that's what's important. Like I really think like we need to build off of this freaking win.
which is why we've been preaching for the kids to come up for however long now, a week plus at least. Um, Francisco Alvarez, what, 1 for 4? I think Vientos only his only hit was the home run.
Yeah, but those were
Whatever, I don't care.
huge. Like came late in the game. Like those, it's huge. Like
Spots like that where players where even high caliber players just fold and they don't produce, for these kids to have such a young career under their belts so far, to produce in that sort of situation against the best team in baseball, are you kidding me? That is phenomenal right there. Kodai Senga, I'm just gonna follow you up. Kodai Senga, absolutely phenomenal performance. Um, 12 strikeouts over 6 innings. I think this is his first time this season going 6 innings. He
no, he
struggled
went
a
six
lot with his.
innings before.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he
Okay,
had
maybe.
one or two other starts, but he's gone 6 innings. But then he's had like those other starts where he goes five and walks the
Yeah. So
ballpark.
so so, and that's tying it back into the command issue with Kodai Senga in his previous starts with the walks. His command was under control today. He did get into some jams, but he was able to find those clutch strikeouts when he needed to. So shout out Kodai Senga, the best start of his career so far, bar none, bar none. Um, Kept the Mets in the game. Obviously, Vientos went yard to tie the game. Ottavino had an ugly ninth inning. Alvarez and Pete Alonso home runs. Game tying for Alvarez and the game winner for Alonso.
It was
Um,
great to see how pumped that he was too. Alvarez was just so pumped up, man.
oh, he was amped. I mean, he was amped. I love to see that. And those kids on the bench, the camaraderie that you see between them, absolutely phenomenal. Um, So now the part of the live where I don't really even want to get into, but any negatives that you've seen that irked you today in the earlier part of the game, Nelson?
The biggest one that stood out was when um, we had a chance to score a run. I think Lindor was on second, and Vogie came up. Well, actually, Pham was supposed to be up,
Yep.
but Buck decided to pinch hit for Pham with Vogie when the Rays were obviously going to bring in a lefty, and that's what they did. And Vogie can't hit lefties, and he just stared at 3 pitches. Like in that
Yep.
situation, like you should have either stayed with Pham and let him face the righty. He'd already had I think two hits. No, one hit and a walk. And yeah, either stay with Pham or bring in Beatty. Beatty can hit lefties. Vogie
Yep.
can't. Vogie's been a horrible throughout his career, horrible against lefties.
Yeah.
So that was a head
100%.
scratcher. Um, that was the biggest one for me. Like obviously Ottavino screwed up there late, but that moment, I mean, I don't like to see our manager get outmanaged. And last year that didn't happen often. This year
Yeah.
I've seen it more than I'd like, and that was disconcerting to say the least.
No, I agree. I agree. That was probably one of my negatives as well. Was that decision. My thing with that is that the lefty for the Rays was already warming up in the bullpen. And even if the lefty wasn't warming up in the bullpen, even if you didn't see him warming up in the bullpen, when you bring in a lefty like Vogelback to face the right-hander on the mound, that the Rays manager is going to buy time for him to toss a couple of pitches. He doesn't even need to get fully warm because he's going to get the warm-up pitches on the mound anyways. And he's going to bring in that left-hander to correspond that move. So I agree. Buck Showalter definitely should have left Tommy Pham in that situation. Tommy Pham at that point, as much as I've critiqued Tommy Pham, in games prior and also pregame to this game, he was what at that point he had a hit and he drew a walk, so he was on base twice already up until that point, and he was producing some competitive at bats. I would have liked to see, seeing Tommy Pham take that at bat in that situation. I think it was a premature decision from Buck Showalter. I think maybe it might have just we could just call it a lapse in judgment at that point from Buck Showalter, um, which is like you said, you don't like to see our manager getting outmanaged, and that was one situation where he definitely got outmanaged by default, really.
You know, when
Um,
you got the beat writers clowning you for a move, you know you fucked up. 'Cause
yeah,
Tony
yeah.
DeComo said something. There was another couple of writers that said something like, you know, you messed up when you do some shit like that.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, that was just a bad decision. The Vogelback at bat itself was just horrible. It just reinforced and reiterated that bad decision. Um, I mean, we could talk about the lineup all day. Like I said, we were all outraged that Tommy Pham was batting fifth again. After
Not
batting
only
fifth the
that,
day
but
prior,
Beatty
and then
wasn't starting. It's
McNeil wasn't
just there was a whole
starting.
list of things.
I mean,
Hmm.
McNeil got into the game
He
tonight,
got
and
three
he
at
roped the
bats.
ball to left center, and it just so happened to get caught by Jose Siri with a running grab, and but he roped the ball.
Yeah.
Um, so and then what any other negatives that we can think of? I mean, I can't really think of
It
many other
wasn't that
negatives
that
from the
I mean,
team.
other than the offense took 8 innings to get going, like again.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
that's a problem. But hopefully, like we said, with what they did, like hopefully that's something to build off of. And I mean, I'd like to have a better pitcher than McGill going tomorrow, but it is what it is.
I mean, it is what it is. We can't the Mets can't fix the back end of this rotation at this point in
Yeah,
time. It is what it is. We'll see how the game plays out tomorrow.
it's an early one
We
tomorrow,
just said
right?
it.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, we got a day game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Correct. Day game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. McGill on the bump versus Taj Bradley, I believe, going for the Rays.
I might
Um,
go live at some point for that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
See
see.
how.
I mean, I think I'd be down for that as well. We'll see how that ends up going. If it's not an ugly game, definitely we'll probably try to go ahead and go live for that game.
If
I'm really
McGill's
happy
get,
we
let's
got.
put it this way: if McGill's getting shelled, I'm not going.
Yeah, we're not going live for that game. We only went live for this game because we saw the Alvarez home run and we just like, all right, opportunities there. We're going live. So we're really happy we did that. I mean, just the reactions that we have, just to look back on for them as live is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, I'm
Um,
definitely clipping that reaction to the homers. Definitely getting clipped and
Oh yeah.
posted.
Oh yeah. Definitely a clippable worthy reaction. That was, I mean, I don't know if you'll get any better content this season than that right there. So yeah, that was phenomenal. Not many other negatives to go off of. Like I said, like you
Bro,
said, just right there, the offense just took a long time to get going. I'd like to see the offense in it earlier. Pete Alonso had that any inning-ending double play in the first inning with runners on first and third with one out, which
swinging at the first pitch.
deflated my mood. That deflated my mood at that point. But like we just said, Kodai Senga tossed a gem, kept the Mets in it until the very end of his start, the sixth inning. And, obviously, Vientos had the big hit. We're just recapping right now. And then Ottavino just tossed up a stinker. I mean, Ottavino's been better than that this season. We don't see many outings like that from Ottavino. He's been pretty consistent this season, I feel like.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, it's once every few weeks, man. Like that one game he had right
yeah.
after he was on paternity leave, like he blew a game. Like he just every once in a while they'll get to him, but it is what it is. He's been solid. I'm not gonna bitch about him very much, but it was a great win, man. It was funny. I was obviously a little animated for the walk off, and my daughter heard me. She was I don't think she was quite asleep yet, but she goes to the door and just gives me like a fist, like shut up,
Oh
dad.
yeah. Oh yeah. She was definitely watching. That's awesome. That is awesome. Um, shout out Matt. Um, Shout out Matt.
Yeah,
We were
what's
in
up,
this
man?
game because of Vientos and Alvarez. Yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%. I think Matt's on board for us to play the kids. We've been on board to play the kids. We did the post game live from last night's game, and we were kind of talking about, the situation of this is obviously before Vientos got called up this morning, and I know you took the stance that you weren't too convinced that they would call up
I
either
really wasn't.
Vientos or Mauricio. But I guess I don't know if Cohen said something. I don't know who the decision came from,
Dude,
but
Cohen had to have
someone
said.
had. You think so? You think it was
I think it
Cohen?
was Cohen. I think that dude saw because I think he was at like one of the basketball games last night. I heard somebody say I think that dude saw the like highlights of the game and was like called up Billy and said, "Yo,
Yeah.
you got to get Vientos up here like now."
Like now, like yesterday, really,
Yeah,
honestly. Matt, also shout out Matt. Vientos here to stay. Definitely
certainly
agree.
hope so.
We had question marks of why he was actually starting instead of DHing today. He was starting at third base instead of DHing. He had a couple of good defensive plays today at third base. I think one of them where he caught the ground ball and it was going to be a double play ball and he kind of misfired to McNeil. They still got the force out, but they weren't able to turn double play. Obviously,
Mhm.
Vientos is not known for his defense, but then in the last inning, we saw in the 10th, Vientos just threw a strike, absolute strike across the diamond to Alonso. And these kids can play, man, in all facets of the game. That's why I'm never like when people say, "Oh, we should leave Mauricio in AAA because he can't play defense at the major league level," BS. I'm gonna call BS on that because these kids, I mean, it's a different ball game. It's a different mentality. Obviously, you're in AAA to get a sample size of who you are as a ball player before you come up to the MLB level, but play the kids, bring up the kids, bring up Mauricio. I don't care. From what I saw today, bring up Mauricio. I don't care. At this point, I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Uh,
We saw
uh,
what these kids can do. They will struggle at times. Beatty's gone through a struggle period just recently. Alvarez went through a struggle period. But look what they did in this game. They single-handedly kept this offense in the game for Pete Alonso to do what he did in the 10th inning. So bring the kids
Yep.
up. This defensive talk is not going to persuade me personally, at least, of keeping these kids down whatsoever.
No, I
Whatsoever.
totally agree.
So
And let's face it, if they do it right, if Buck gets his head out of his ass, Vientos doesn't have to play defense. So if he is a butcher, you can just DH him. You can. Beatty's a solid third baseman. Alvarez is proven to be a damn good catcher.
yep.
McNeil can play anywhere. You can play him in the outfield, play Escobar at second against lefties. Like you can get all these guys in the lineup. You're just choosing not to.
They have. That's the thing. And that I'm so glad that you brought that up. They have the versatility to get all these guys into the lineup. They have it. They have it. You like you just said, McNeil's the ultimate utility player. He does not have to be constrained to second base. He can
Yep.
play left field and he can even play right field if you want to. If you need to sit
Exactly.
Marte, he can play right field to get these other guys in. Escobar, again, should be playing against left-handed pitching, right? Um, Matt also says, this is what I want to ask you, Nelson. If Mauricio doesn't, no, wait. Wrong comment, wrong comment. Drop Fam, bring us Mauricio. What do you think of that? Is Fam the next player in line to go, or who do you think is if Mauricio gets brought up?
To me, it has to be Fam or Cannon. They're both the worst guys on the team right now from the offensive end. Like, there's really not anybody else to move. We need a backup catcher, so you're not gonna send down Perez or something like that. So,
You don't think it'd be Nito? You don't think it'd be Nito?
no, Nito's already off the roster. So you have to have a backup catcher. Like,
Well, I mean, his IL stint is going to be over soon.
well, yeah. So you just send. I'm assuming at that point they just send Perez back down. So it would be a 1-for-1 swap.
Well, what about Narvaez when he comes back?
That's when they have to make a choice. They better keep Alvarez up here. That's for damn sure. I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean,
you're.
Alvarez is here to stay as well. I don't think
Yeah, see,
Vientos, Alvarez, or Beatty
I
are
think
going
Nito's
anywhere,
the odd man
really.
out in that situation. Nito's the odd man out. Nito's got to go
100%.
somewhere. I don't know what DFA him or whatever.
DFA him.
But
I don't need him in the organization anymore at that point.
yeah, I don't.
Truly.
So that's as far as the catching situation. That's the case. But for Mauricio specifically, like it's Fam or Canna. Like those are the two options. I mean, it could be
Agreed.
Vogie,
Agreed.
but I don't think they like Vogie too much.
Well, I think they like Hannah and Vogie too much, and they're better in experience. I think those players are definitely
Yeah,
expendable, 100%. If you asked me, I think they're expendable, but I think that they like them too much organizationally to let them go. Shout out Matt. He's commenting here. We're tossing his comments up on there. Matt, toss your Twitter at in the comments here. I want to toss it up to make sure that people watching can follow you.
damn.
You've
I
definitely been
honestly, I remember. I can't. It's Sunny something.
yeah, it's Sunny something. I can't remember the complete at. So Matt, make sure you toss up your at in the comments, and I'll definitely display it for people to go ahead and follow you. You've been a supporter. I definitely appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate you giving your thoughts. And then yeah, there we go. Matt says I have way too much to say. Can we please jump to a Twitter space? Yeah, I will create a Twitter space right after we get off of this live. We'll probably we'll wrap this up in the next couple minutes here. I think we will just end on the high horse here with the New York Mets. Obviously, with the walk-off win, so we'll definitely get a Twitter space going. Matt, I know you're on your honeymoon in Hawaii right now. Congratulations to you. I just want to say
He's
that
on his
online.
honeymoon.
Yeah, he's on his honeymoon right now, and he's still finding ways to keep up and support the pod. So definitely appreciate you.
Shout,
Um,
shout
there we
out Matt's
go.
wife.
Flushing Sunny 41. Make sure you all go follow Matt, our guy Matt, at Flushing Sunny 41 on Twitter. He writes New York Mets blogs. He has some great blogs out there. He does a lot of great work in the Mets community. He definitely deserves some more followers as well. He's always in the post game spaces as well. Gave him a shout out on my Twitter the other day. Definitely go follow Matt at Flushing Sunny 41. Definitely, like I said, buddy, appreciate you coming in, letting us know your thoughts, tuning in, supporting the podcast, supporting these lives. We couldn't do it without you. Definitely appreciate that. So make sure you follow Sunny, follow Matt at Flushing Sunny 41. Um, you know, I guess before we wrap up this live, we've definitely been going here for a little bit with in-game live and the post-game live.
Yeah,
Nelson, I mean, in terms of just building off of this game for tomorrow, obviously, like you said, you wish you'd have, and I agree with the sentiment as well. We wish we'd have someone a little bit better. Like I wish Verlander was going tomorrow, honestly. I wish Verlander was going tomorrow. Obviously, he got shelled yesterday, gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Where do you think the Mets go from here, especially going to the game tomorrow, the rubber match of the Tampa Bay Rays series?
I mean, you'd hope the offense can keep it up. I don't have a lot of faith in McGill, especially against this lineup. But hey, who knows? Like he has shown at times he can be decent. So
Yes,
hopefully he at least keeps us in the game. And then hopefully Buck puts out a better lineup, man. I want to see all the kids in the lineup tomorrow. I want to see Beatty, I want to see Vientos, and I want to see Alvarez. Alvarez
agreed.
might not be as likely because it's a day game after a night game, but we'll see.
I don't care. I don't
I don't
care.
care either,
I
but
don't care. He's young. Toss him in there. I don't care. I don't care. This is the point of the season where you don't give guys rest days where you're struggling like this. I get it. The longevity of the season is 162 games. We just played game 44. I don't care. Toss him in
yeah,
there.
I agree.
Toss
I
him in there.
just Buck, you never know with
I
Buck.
know. But Buck's in his way sometimes. I saw you mention on your Twitter as well. Buck's in his way sometimes, and you're just not going to get any other version of Buck Showalter in terms of his decision making. I completely get that. But if it was up to me, and if it was up to you, it seems like Alvarez is going to be in there tomorrow catching the night game following a day game or a day game following a night game. Beatty's going to be in there at third base, and Vientos is going to be in there at DH. Point blank, simple.
Exactly.
Whatever happens, that is what
And I don't
we
really care
are
what he does with
saying.
anybody else. Anybody else,
No,
whatever, just play those three guys.
plug and play wherever you want. We want to see the kids play. That's it. These guys are young. They're here to provide the spark. I said it in one of my videos earlier today. I think you agree with the same sentiment. I said even if Vientos didn't contribute today, it wouldn't be his fault. He
Nope.
was brought in here to be sort of a spark, but he wasn't brought in here to be the savior. And I think rational Mets fans realize that. So play him, let him get in his groove. Let's see what he can provide, and let's go from there. But we want to see the kids get brought up. Plain and simple. Bring up Mauricio next. This win does not satisfy my hunger for seeing Ronnie Mauricio at the major league level. If I can see Mauricio, Beatty, Alvarez, and Vientos all in the same lineup at the major league level, I'm gonna advocate for that.
Yeah, I'm
100%.
gonna I'm gonna clip that little moment and send it to my guy David. He's like the biggest
Yeah.
Ronnie Mauricio supporter ever, and he's been
I
like,
know your boy David. He got a little bit mad at me when I posted the little clip of me saying that teams are going to be asking for Ronnie Mauricio at the trade deadline
"Oh
if the
yeah."
Mets were to
Any
were
talk of
to.
trading Mauricio, he goes ape shit. It's hilarious.
And I completely agree though with that sentiment is that we know that they're going to be asking for Ronnie Mauricio, but he should be off limits bar none, 100%. I mean, he should not be traded whatsoever. You got a left-handed power bat that can play the middle infield. You
Yeah,
don't trade those guys. You don't trade those guys.
I mean, I won't go that far. There's probably a couple guys that I would trade them for, but it's got to be the right deal and it's got to be somebody really good. I'm not just giving them up for some fringe player, that's for sure.
Do you have any names off the top of your head who you would give him up
Not
for? I'm not going to
not
put you
right
on the
now.
spot. I don't want to put you up on the spot. You don't have to answer that, but you said it, and I'm
Yeah.
curious now.
Well, I mean, I'm not trading for Otani. That's going to cost way too much if they even make him available. But like say the White Sox stink.
Yeah.
They might sell everybody. Luis Robert is a very intriguing player to me. He's the kind of guy I'd consider trading a Mauricio for. That it depends on the package and everything. I'd consider it. I'm saying I'd do it. I'd say I'd consider it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, he's also a guy that has been linked to the Mets for a couple of off seasons in terms of a trade. The White Sox, we know what's going on over there. The White Sox haven't been themselves in terms of they haven't lived up to the potential of their roster on paper for the last couple of seasons, and especially in a weak AL Central division. I completely agree. They might do a fire sale once and for all. I mean, I'm hard pressed to say that I would even trade Mauricio for Luis Robert, but I understand where
I
you're coming
understand that
from.
sentiment. Yeah, I get it. No, that's why I said I'd
Yeah.
consider. And before David, if he sees this comes from my head, I don't want to trade Mauricio. I'm just saying, hypothetically, I might think about it, but I don't want to. I want to see him up as like everybody else. Like bring him up tomorrow, please.
What do you think about this? Matt says from Mets Sunnyside 41, he says Lucas Giolito is a guy on the White Sox that can help us today. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean, I'd consider it, but obviously nobody's making trades in early May or even mid May. That's probably something June, July, late June, early July. I could see like start to talk about it. I wouldn't give up Mauricio for Giolito, not straight up. Like,
No. No.
definitely not. That would be a lower end prospect or a few lower end prospects. But
So
yeah,
do
that's a
you
guy
do you
I'm intrigued by.
do you think that the Mets Steve Cohen tax is still going to apply this offseason? Do you think that the teams are going to be asking for those top tier guys? So let's just put this hypothetical out there before you answer that. Let's say they bring up Ronnie Mauricio in the next 2 weeks, right? So we consistently see Ronnie Mauricio, Vientos, Alvarez, and Beatty in the same lineup. They produce at the major league level. Obviously, at that point, it's sort of implied that those guys are off limits from the Mets side without needing to say anything.
Yep.
What do you think? Do you think that there are going to be any options for the Mets at that point? Because obviously the only other prospects are probably like Mike Vassell or Alex Ramirez in the minors that can be expendable. And I know you're an Alex Ramirez guy, maybe not going to trade him, but we also have veterans that we can trade that are ready to help a contending team that we can do not a one for one swap, but maybe some sort of deal that can work those veterans in there. So what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if those four kids are up and producing, you're assuming the lineup has figured itself out. So we're maybe wouldn't need a hitter per se. So then we're going to need pitching. I don't think we're deep enough pitching wise. So that's what we're going to be looking for.
Agreed.
Depending on who's available, I think you can get solid back end starters without having to give up big prospects. You might have to give up more prospects, or like you said, maybe somebody thinks they can fix David Peterson and you can package him with a couple guys, like something like that. Those are the
Or
moves I would
the
consider
quote
in that case.
unquote cash considerations guy, that guy.
Yeah, if there's a team that's just looking for money, you can throw them a bag and say, I'll give you less prospects if you give me whoever. So it's too early to tell. We don't know who's going to be available or all that stuff. It's all hypothetical, but that's what I would consider doing. And it's going to depend. I mean, we have to obviously be in the hunt and pick up our play for this to even be an option. Like we might be, I don't know that we'll be sellers, but we might not be buying at all. We might just decide to stand pat and just go with what we got.
Agreed. And I think that that could be a viable option to just how the trade deadline, us being contenders last year, how the trade deadline ended up with the team, with the Chicago Cubs primarily asking for too much. The Mets stood pat. They obviously added Naquin and Vogelback, but they didn't go after a name like Ian Happ or Contreras from the Cubs because they were just simply asking for too much. So that could definitely be the same sort of situation that we see this year. We're going to wrap this up here.
I'll say this
This
in regard
win,
to that.
what was that?
I was just going to say, in regards to last year, and when I look back at it, there isn't really a guy that was traded that I regret not trading for.
Agreed.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
just,
mean,
I just wanted to add that.
Mancini didn't do too well in the Astros from what I saw. Vasquez had a mediocre stint with the Astros as well. Those are two guys that were linked to the Mets
Martinez
as well.
wasn't traded, but wasn't that good
Martinez
anyway.
as
Yep.
well. So I definitely agree. But it's easier to look at that in hindsight than in the actual moment itself. But
Yeah.
like I said, we will wrap this live up. This was a great win by the New York Mets. I'm really excited to get some clips from this live, especially earlier when we were doing the actual live game play-by-play. A phenomenal win by the Mets against the best team in baseball. Walked it off in extra innings, 8-7. Like I said, I'm going to toss this banner up here. It's always good at this point in the season when the Mets win. Mets win 8-7. And I just want to caveat this win by saying that the Mets, this win is not sufficient enough to be satisfied with just for today. I am a type of fan who I'm very satisfied with this win, but it's all about building blocks for me. It's about building blocks. So how will the Mets follow this win up tomorrow? They have a day game tomorrow. We got McGill on the mound tomorrow. If we can secure this series win versus the Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow, it's going to be a tall task. But if we can take a series from the best team in baseball at home and go into that Guardian series with confidence, this could be the turning point in the season, like you said. Could be.
Yep. Totally. Nothing to add to that. That was spot on.
So I appreciate you, Nelson. Thank you so much for joining me today. Shout out Amish
Man,
Country Mets
thanks for
fan.
doing this.
Go ahead and plug your stuff right quick before we leave this live. Plug in your stuff. Make sure people know what you're about. Even the rebrand that you're going into right now.
Yeah, man. Amish Country Met fan. I'm trying to point at it right there. It's all one word on YouTube. Um, I have an IG as well. I don't post as much on there, but it's the same thing. TikTok as well, and my Twitter you got up there. And yeah, I got a podcast called the Amish Apple Podcast, and I'm doing a little bit of a rebrand because everybody that has a Mets podcast is usually just reacting to like the games and everything like that. And I don't want to totally get away from that, but I do that on the day to day anyway with my videos. So I wanted to start interviewing fans that are from outside of the New York City area, and maybe like when we go on or when the Mets go on road trips, interview fans from those cities and interact with them and see how they feel about the team and how they got into the Mets and how they still keep up with the Mets and so on and so forth.
Great idea. I definitely resonate with you. That would be a great segment. I'm always interested in interacting myself with fans from different cities, different ball clubs, not even the New York Mets, just different ball clubs in general. So definitely a great way to sort of spread out the content. Definitely appreciate you joining me here. We're gonna do more stuff like this in general, more post games, more hopefully in live games that the Mets start being more competitive in games like they were today. We just so
Yeah,
happened to
those
just
are fun.
catch the Mets on a good day today, and we just went live and ran with it. So I definitely appreciate you. This is a fire segment. We got a lot of good stuff to look back on. I got a lot of good stuff to look forward on, and we'll see how the Mets respond tomorrow. So Nelson, I appreciate it. We're gonna wrap this segment up real quick here, and then like I said, always like I said, we'll see how the Mets respond tomorrow. And other than that, as always, let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. See ya.